Good Monday evening, July 8th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Lawson, the veterans nonprofit administrator who lost a state lawsuit over repeated instances of sexual harassment, is appealing the $1.4 million verdict against him. The bridge that connects the tiny town of Peshastin with Highway 2 could reopen by the end of this week. An excessive heat warning is in effect through Wednesday, with breezy winds thrown in the mix by midweek as well. All those weather details coming up in your local forecast. Large areas of the Wenatchee Valley's sagebrush and forest land fell victim to wildfire over the July 4th holiday weekend. Most significantly, the balsam root fire consumed an estimated 300 acres on Friday in the Wenatchee foothills around Horse Lake Preserve. One youth was arrested for allegedly detonating fireworks in the area before the fire caught in dry grass and brush and then sparked level 3 evacuation notices for much of the Broadview neighborhood. That's the area that was previously devastated by the 2015 Sleepy Hollow fire, which destroyed 29 homes. No structures were lost during this fire, which crews were able to contain within a day. Meanwhile, the Beehive fire followed Saturday in the Squilchuck area, again sparking evacuation warnings, but ultimately being held to just a few acres. In Douglas County, the Road 11 fire broke out on July 4th near Withrow and was handled through the weekend by an interagency management team. Firefighters kept that blaze to 860 acres. They said local farmers made suppression easier by offering their own farm machinery to cut fire breaks in the landscape. All told, the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department says there were at least 20 fire calls related to fireworks on July 4th and 5th. The city of East Wenatchee will soon begin providing pre-approved construction plans for accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. In February, the city adopted a new ordinance aimed at streamlining the process of building ADUs, which Mayor Jerry Crawford said is meant to address ongoing efforts to address housing affordability and diversity. The ordinance's key changes include no base minimum lot size requirement in order to start a project, and residential lots can now have up to 2 ADUs. The city also removed the owner occupancy requirement and eliminated the previous mandate that required the lot arrangement to be subdividable. The city says the pre-approved construction plans, which will be available in late summer, meet all building codes and will help expedite the development process of ADUs. Lawson, the veterans nonprofit administrator who lost a state lawsuit over repeated instances of sexual harassment, is appealing the $1.4 million verdict against him. Lawson, his wife Karen Jean Monroe, and his nonprofit agency filed a notice of appeal today, asking to overturn the jury verdict that found him liable for harassment and on-the-job retaliation against women who worked at his veteran warehouse thrift stores in both Wenatchee and Kennewick. The jury awarded damages to 12 victims, ranging from $20,000 to $275,000, plus $17,000 in back wages. Lawson's attorneys say he'll appeal the finding on questions surrounding the judge's instructions to the jury, as well as rulings made ahead of trial and the monetary judgment itself. Roundabouts can be confusing for some drivers. If you're eager to learn more, now is your chance. The city of Wenatchee is hosting a workshop to educate locals on roundabouts, those traffic circles that have replaced four-way stops throughout the valley. The presentation will take place on July 18th from 5:15 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. in the City Council chambers at Wenatchee City Hall. The workshop is supported by funding from Washington's Climate Commitment Act. The CCA supports climate action efforts by investing funds into projects that reduce climate pollution, create jobs, and improve public health. When we come back, applications are open for the vacant seat on the Moses Lake School Board following the resignation of Kevin Fuhr. Big numbers of spring Chinook are returning to the Leavenworth Fish Hatchery. And with temperatures predicted to surpass 100 degrees this week, the Chelan PUD has issued a list of tips for staying cool. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
As sheriff, I arrested rioters, rapists, and mass murderers, locked up human traffickers who preyed on women and children. On my watch, everyone was accountable. Despite being the Attorney General for 12 years, Bob Ferguson does not take responsibility for the rapid increase in crime and homelessness, businesses moving out of state, and jobs lost. And he thinks he deserves a promotion?
Dave Reichert. There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
I'm Keith Gaynor, running to be your next 12th District State Senator. It has been a privilege to serve you the past 6 years in the House of Representatives. I believe public safety is a critical issue that affects all of Washington. This should be one of our highest priorities. Washington families are struggling. Housing, food, and gas prices are severely affecting our budgets. We need to find better ways to support our families. Together, we can build a better Washington.
Applications are open for the vacant seat on the Moses Lake School Board following the resignation of Kevin Fuhr. Fuhr announced his decision to step down from the board on June 21st due to focus on his health. Applications are due by noon on August 15th, and interviews of selected candidates will take place at an open public meeting on August 20th. The candidate will serve out the remainder of the position for term, which expires in November of 2025. The board is scheduled to announce the selected candidate during the August 22nd board meeting. Interested applicants can apply on the Moses Lake School District website. The bridge that connects the tiny town of Peshastin with Highway 2 could reopen by the end of this week. It's been closed since June 17th for a major resurfacing project, forcing locals to use North Road to access the highway. Chelan County's Public Works Department says concrete that was poured for the new bridge deck is curing right now, and while there are a few steps still to be taken, the planned opening date of Friday, July 12th remains in effect. The Peshastin Bridge is among 5 county bridges undergoing improvements this summer. Chelan County expects to spend about $3.6 million for all 5 projects. Every year, the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery awaits the return of spring Chinook that were reared there in the year before. This week, the return started in earnest. More than 3,000 spring Chinook have made the journey back up the Columbia to the hatchery spawning ground. These fish are kept in the hatchery's adult holding pond. Fish biologists say Chinook become more red in color as they come closer to their spawning time, particularly the males. With temperatures predicted to surpass 100 degrees this week, the Chelan County PUD has issued a list of tips for staying cool. The list suggests setting your thermostat to the highest temperature that you're comfortable at, running ceiling fans if you have them, opting to use a microwave instead of an oven when cooking, and making sure that your air conditioning filter isn't clogged. The list also suggests using ventilation to keep heat from building up in your home. Turning on the exhaust fans in your kitchen and bathroom can go a long way. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we'll tell you about two local friends who will be opening a new Wenatchee brew pub later this summer. Unseasonably hot temperatures are here with an excessive heat warning through Wednesday. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
What does RV stand for? Recreational vehicle or ruined vacation? At Click-It RV, we want you to have a fun, safe camping experience. So for the month of June, get to any Click-It RV store and get a professional propane leak test, tire pressure check, wheel bearings, roof, slide and battery test. And all inspections are free because we want you and yours to have a safe camping season. Thinking of upgrading? Check out the used selection of new and used top brands like Grand Design, Rockwood, Flagstaff, Winnebago, and more. So get to a Click-It RV store near you for a free inspection and keep your family safe.
It's vacation season. While a trip to Hawaii sounds great, we know what you really want is an inflation vacation. That's why Abby's feeds a group of 4 to 6 people for less than $26. Enjoy an inflation vacation at Abby's. You can be a superhero tonight and treat your family to Abby's famous hometown hero. This giant features our classic pepperoni, tasty Italian sausage, and crisp green peppers, all layered together for a legendary feast. Don't miss this July special pizza at a very special price.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Culinary Apple is North Central Washington's premier kitchen store with everything you need to elevate your own culinary experience.
For the most unique wine tasting experience in the Chelan Valley, visit One Wines. Popular for being the smallest and most intimate facility in the valley, it features one red, one white, and one rosé. Complex wines, simple elegance.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
It's a great time to go into the medical profession. And this is the perfect place to start, because this is going to provide you that basic understanding in order to get into medical school, physical therapy school. So when you are ready to head on your career pathway, wherever it is, then you've already had some experience and say, oh, it's so cool. This is exactly what I want to do. So really, you're going to leave me with 13 college credits and a license with the state of Washington.
A brewery brought Ben Gresh and Peter Siderius together 7 years ago, and now the two friends have banded together to create Pinnacle Beer Works, a family-friendly brew pub at 13 North Mission Street that's set to open later this summer. In tonight's features story, NCWLIFE's Casey Safford caught up with the two men to get all the details about their new business.
Yeah, so we both started at Wenatchee Valley Brewing in 2017, I think it was, and worked together there for a couple of years before Ben moved on and started brewing for Blewett Brewing up in Leavenworth. And even back then, there was always a little part of us that thought, oh, we should do this ourselves one day. And then actually it was about 2 years ago that we kind of came back together and we're like, if we're gonna do it, let's do it now. And we started working on it. And so we just been good buddies ever since and got started together, and we thought it'd be a good idea to do it ourselves.
So how long has this friendship been in the works? Since 2017? Was that when you met, when you were both working there?
Yep, exactly. That's the first time we met, and Peter hired me on the spot.
All right, so what made you settle on this space here at the newly renovated press hall for this?
It fell into our laps. I mean, for a while there, we were just touring anything and everything that we could find. We actually toured the old fire station. We toured a couple places downtown. And then we toured this place, and we were talking to the owners, and they basically said, well, what we really want to do is put in a brewery. And we were like, well, what we really want to do is put in a brewery. And so we just started working with them. It's been a really good relationship ever since.
Perfect. So what exactly will Pinnacle Beer Works offer to local customers besides beer? Is there going to be food or anything like that?
That's a great question. Yes, there is going to be food as well. We're going to be a brew pub, so we have a full kitchen. And so we're going to offer, we haven't quite come up with a name yet, but it's where a pizza meets a sandwich. Oh. So we're going to take our house-made pizza dough and we're going to incorporate that into a sandwich. And so it's kind of a surprise, and we're waiting to see once it rolls out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out. That sounds really fun. So will everything be brewed here on site, as I see always behind us?
For the most part, I mean, we're going to be brewing all of our own beers. We'll probably have some seltzers and some non-alcoholic things that we make, carbonated water. But we do also want to support other local companies, and so we're going to try to get some local ciders on tap. We'll try to have some wines in-house that obviously we are not making ourselves, but we try to keep it within the valley, within the county.
So how do you choose what style of beer to brew? Are you striving to create types you feel are underrepresented at our local bar scene, or is this kind of catering to the more staple beers that people expect to find at a brewery?
You got to kind of do a little bit of both. I mean, there are beers that we're going to want to make and experiment with and have fun with that are not probably going to be drank by as many people. And then there are the beers that people really want, like your IPAs or your easy drinking lagers, that of course we're going to have those on tap. But we also want to make sure we have that little mix of like, here's something fun that we did. You should try this. Even if you don't like it, it's interesting.
Yeah, along with some seasonal varieties. We're going to be very seasonal here. Washington State offers tons of fresh local ingredients, so we're going to try to incorporate that into our not only our beer but our food product as well.
Great. So when will you officially be opening? Is there a date picked for that yet? And will you be doing anything special when that opening day comes?
We will be doing something special. We're going to have a grand opening. It'll probably be some sort of party, a few days, maybe some live music, something along those lines. That date is a moving target right now. We're very hopeful for some time in August. Permitting with permits and everything along those lines, we are hoping to nail it in those 31 days.
Great. And so the last question I have for you is, when you look ahead into the future for Pinnacle Beer Works, what do you see?
A lot of different things. But ideally, we want to make a fun, exciting place, and we want to hopefully expand in the future and maybe eventually have cans on shelves in Plaza Superjet, maybe have tap houses in Chelan and Spokane, and just kind of start growing and letting more people experience this cool atmosphere that we're planning to create.
That's great.
Yeah, I hope to see just a fun community gathering place that supports the local community and has some integral employees that will help us succeed long term.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic long 4th of July weekend. Boy, it was a hot one. We hit 100 Friday, 98 our official highs on both Saturday and again yesterday. Today, a lot higher than that. We'll get to that in a second. We had some unhealthy air quality around parts of our viewing area today. This is our Bear Mountain Sky-Fi Tower camera. And outside our weather window, you can see some of those smoky skies around the Chelan area from that Pioneer fire that's still burning up just north of Chelan. And all of us saw a little bit of hazy skies out there today. We were even at moderate air quality in the Wenatchee area today with a number around 50 to 60. I'll tell you what, it is just going to stay hot. This is an extended heat wave, and there's no doubt about that. We're going to get possibly 106 to 108 for our Wednesday. Going to stay in those triple digits on Wednesday with a little bit of wind Wednesday. We'll cool back. I think these are a little low, even mid to upper 90s, and then right back to 100 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we are in this for quite a while, folks, moving in through this week and into the weekend. Red flag warning also in effect. That means very, very dry conditions. Humidity's only at about 9%, and it's for the area in pink. So a lot of it is in Chelan County, just west of Wenatchee and Chelan. Also some of that area up by Winthrop and Twisp. Red flag warnings, very dangerous, and you can imagine we are tinder dry right now, so any spark or flame is going to cause a pretty good fire. Just be careful out there. Today, how about it? Record high temperature, 104 degrees. That broke our record from 2021 just a few years ago of 103, and it's way over where we should be for this time of year at 86. We started off at 69, very warm, almost 10 degrees above our normal of 60 degrees, and our record cold 45 set back in 1981. Sunrise this morning 5:14, and it sets tonight at 8:58. With this heat, we're all ready for that sunset a little bit later on tonight. Look at these high temperatures as we get you into Tuesday. 107 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 108 in Quincy, also right here in the Wenatchee area, 107 Eniat, 108 108 for Chelan, and even Lake Wenatchee tomorrow, generally quite a bit cooler, 103 for an afternoon high tomorrow. It looks like tomorrow will be our peak day for that heat. All right, this is our extended heat wave, and what we're looking at right now, here's our first ridge of high pressure, grabbing all this warmth and bringing it back our way. This will slide across Canada, that area of low pressure on Wednesday, kicking up the winds, and then more high pressure right behind that. Tonight, clear skies, very warm overnight lows. We are talking lows tonight in the mid-70s for almost all of us. On Tuesday, sunny, record highs are possible for tomorrow. We did it today, and I think we'll probably get there tomorrow. High temperatures near 110 degrees. We just talked about it, most of us about 108, and it's going to be hot all over the western United States. For your Wednesday, sunny, and then that low pressure slides across Canada, and that could kick up those breezes for us. We're going to see sunny skies Wednesday and still hot. Highs on Wednesday with the breeze near 105 degrees. For Thursday, sunny. We'll get a little bit of a break, but not much. Slightly cooler with highs in the mid to upper 90s on Thursday. And folks, that's going to be our coolest day of this entire 7-day forecast, because as we get you into Friday then, the second area of high pressure I showed you earlier will move off the coast, and that'll bring us more hot weather with high temperatures Friday near 100. And just get used to it as we head into the upcoming weekend. Getting you into Saturday, sunny and hot, not much breeze out there. Again, high temperatures hovering right around 100 degrees. And by the end of our forecast on Sunday, yeah, you're going to be sick of the heat. Sunny and hot once again as we get into Sunday, with high temperatures around 100, maybe a few high clouds on Sunday that could filter out some of that sunshine. But all in all, folks, we are in, as I mentioned, for an extended heat wave. All right, your 7-day forecast now, 74 overnight tonight. 108 on Tuesday, 104 on Wednesday, little breeze on Wednesday as well, 97 for your Thursday, and then right back to temperatures near 100 degrees for Friday, Saturday, and again on Sunday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
And a happy Monday to you. Thanks to Dan for filling in for me last week so I can get some much needed days off. Seattle stranded 15 base runners in a 5-4 10-inning loss to Toronto Sunday. The loss meant the Mariners have now lost 6 straight series as the Blue Jays won 2 of 3 over the weekend. Am scored first and held a 4-1 lead late, but George Springer tied it with one swing of the bat, extending the game into extra innings.
Well hit ball high and deep to right center field, and it is gone! And George Springer has tied this game.
Well, we talk about Springer getting big hits recently, and he comes up with another one. A 3-runner home run, his 10th of the season. And a home run in the 9th yesterday.
3-2 again, and he got him. What a job by Nate Pearson. Again the 3-2, and bounced up the middle. Schneider in time.
Out to left field. Varsho chasing after it. He can't get to this one. And it bounces over. It bounces over the wall. A break for the Blue Jays. And Cal Raleigh, I'm not sure what his intentions were, but has to stay put at third base.
I think if it hits the wall instead of bouncing over, Cal probably scores.
Again, the 1-2. Popped up. Guerrero into foul territory. Has it. Snyder sets. 3-2 again. Base hit right field. Here comes Guerrero, and he will score. Varsho to second on the play, and the Blue Jays have the lead. The 1-1. High fly ball center. Kiermaier back. Has it.
Mariners are off today before beginning a 6-game road trip to San Diego tomorrow before heading to Anaheim to face the Angels before the All-Star break. Well, despite the recent drought in the win column, Seattle still leads the American League West by 2 games over Houston. Astros fell to Minnesota Sunday 3-2. Texas 6 games back after a 13-2 win over Tampa Bay. Another American League West action, the Cubs blanked the Angels 5-0, while Baltimore handed Oakland a 6-3 loss. Wenatchee erased a 6-0 deficit with an 11-run 6th inning and went on to beat Nanaimo 14-8 Sunday. The win gave Wenatchee yet another series victory as the Sox took 2 of 3 from the Night Owls over the weekend. Evan Cloyd continued to produce after joining the Sox a week ago with 4 hits, while Hunter Friedberg was 3 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. Wenatchee's off today before returning home to host Edmonton in the first of 3 games tomorrow night at 6:35. Now, we were hoping to broadcast tomorrow night's game, but forecasts of 108 degrees will prevent us from doing so. Our equipment just doesn't want to hold up under such temperatures. On the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard Sunday, Victoria pounded Kelowna 19-5. Bellingham outlasted Port Angeles 11-8. Kamloops earned a 7-1 win over Edmonton. Corvallis topped Springfield 9-4. Ridgefield beat Cowlitz 16-8. Bend completed a 3-game sweep of Yakima Valley with a 3-1 win. Non-league play, Walla Walla beat Northwest Star Academy 10-2, and that score is correct. Portland ground Gresham 38-0. Pickles took advantage of 17 walks in the win. Bells lead the WCL North second half standings after an opening weekend sweep of the Lefties. Wenatchee, which already claimed the first half win and a spot in the postseason, is tied with Kelowna and Kamloops at 2-1 in a game back. Bend and Ridgefield are off to 3-0 starts in the second half, a game in front of the Knights and Springfield. Portland and Walla Walla begin a second half of the season coming up this week. Well, race fans watched firefighters off to their left battling a blaze across the river on Saturday night, while the racers smoked up the Super Oval quarter-mile track on Saturday night. East Wenatchee's Cody Harris won the main event in the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Car class. Moses Lake's Ron Stewart was second, followed by Sela's Dylan Huffines. Checkered flag flew for Kyle Spalding in the Plum Perfect Roadrunners main event. Monitor's Dale Wennerberg was second, followed by East Wenatchee's RT Grinder third. Matthew Anders won his 4th straight main event in the Knutson General Contracting Bandoleros. He finished in front of Graham's Leilani Langston and Spokane's Kimber Bylan. Ephrata's McKenna Lutz picked up another win in the main event in the B&T Towing Youth Roadrunner class. Hermiston's Clayton Hayes was second, followed by Wenatchee's Tommy Craig. And for the second time this season, the Apple Valley Pumping Crown Vic stocks hit the quarter-mile asphalt. Cashmere's Jamie Nyenheis was first, Omac's Corey Christie second, and East Wenatchee's Jared Bykowski third. One of the fastest, biggest, and loudest weekends of the year is coming up this weekend with Thunder in the Valley, featuring the Rockstar Energy B-Mods, Freedom Mods, IWS Sprint Cars, Northwest Focus Midgets, and OTRA Can-Ams. They'll practice Friday, race Saturday, starting at 6 o'clock. That's the look at sports news. Before I go, I got to say happy anniversary to my lovely wife, Marion. Year number 6, and you're still putting up with me. Thank you for that. That's sports news. Have a good Monday.
On the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we're talking Apple Sox baseball. We do it whenever we possibly can, or whenever Joel Norman
is in town, and he is in town. And once again, we can't reiterate this enough, Joel. We got ourselves a pretty good baseball team.
Absolutely. Won the first half. We know we're going to be playing playoff baseball August 11th, but trying to really lock up home field advantage over the rest of the season, and crucial series against the Edmonton Riverhawks here coming up this week.
Joel Norman making his first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on tomorrow's edition of this award-winning program.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.